Hi, this is BK Black Krishna for manfulwars.com, where I'm promoting much-needed polite patriotism to help locally nice ladies and gents teach kids to be look, walk, talk, and feel great, and locally discuss and share online info offline as nice, helpful, respectful people making better people and better places to live and able to talk comfortably about fun or serious stuff. And you can see manfulwars.com when it comes to some of the issues people are having with that in Toronto, in Canada, and worldwide. And you can subscribe, comment, get in touch with questions or answers, or to work together, or to financially support the Man for Wars efforts. You can see more details below. But this video is called Lauren Southern Has Retired. Will men worldwide man up and take her place? And Lauren Southern, if you're watching this, you might know who she is. If you don't know, then you should know who she is. But I was basically watching an interview with her and Stefan Molyneux, and my thinking was, this is it's too bad that she's retiring, but ultimately it's something that you should be for, and there are ways that we can deal with that. So let me get into a couple of things. Who is Ms. Lauren Southern? She's great. She's telegenic, she's smart, she's earnest, she's thoughtful, she's funny, and she is a lovely young lady. Lauren Southern is a lovely young lady. She's got millions of fans around the world. She's got some hateful people who hate her, but they probably just hate themselves, and they're just passing it on. And I knew she was a star the first time I saw her, when I saw her on working for Rebel Media. Out of Canada, Ezra Levant's Rebel Media empire. And I knew she was a star. As soon as you see her, you're like, yep, there's somebody I find attractive, male or female, you know who's a star, like Hollywood stars. I like him, I find him attractive, I want to help him out, I want to see him do well. Like, she just has that type of charisma, and she also does great work as a journalist, an activist, an entrepreneur, and filmmaker, and so on, right? So on many metrics, she's somebody where you can see why she has fans worldwide, right? She informs and empowers millions, and millions love her for it. And she's got a new movie called Borderless, and it's fantastic, where she was supported by patrons around the world to investigate on the ground with her camera crew, or different camera crews, the migrant crisis going on worldwide. And what she manages to do in Borderless is she manages to humanize everybody, almost everybody involved, including the migrants, including the locals, including even the human traffickers involved in this. She manages to humanize us and take us directly into their experiences. So it's not sort of a flat 2D online world. Oh, they all suck, they're all this, or they all that, or we're right, you're wrong, blah blah blah. It's more like, no, these are all human beings, and they all have unique situations and unique interests and hopes and dreams, and some of them are better people, some of them are worse people, but ultimately, as the movie Borderless shows, nobody benefits from the way the current migrant crisis is being handled when it comes to the normal people we recognize. The migrants don't benefit. Their countries get worse for the brain drain, and they're not necessarily guaranteed a great life in the West that is better than where they're ancestrally from. Locals don't benefit, especially in Western countries where they already have homelessness and child poverty and other issues, and then their resources are more strained by the influx of migrants with sort of liberal, leftist, radical left, open borders policies, plus the cultural destabilization of letting in too many people, often who aren't qualified to get great jobs, into your country. And all the cultural destabilization, and then groups sort of in destabilized cultures ganging up with each other for safety or to attack each other. So nobody benefits when it comes to, we're doing this for the migrants, or we want to be nice locals. None of you benefit. The only people that benefit, as shown in Borderless, clearly proven, are human traffickers and NGOs, UN non-governmental organizations, which means they work for the UN World Governmental Organization, and the people making a lot of money off this, charging migrants $1,000 or euros or $2,000 or euros or whatever to bring them from Africa or the Middle East or wherever to parts of Europe, parts of the West, right? They're the only ones that benefit when it comes to this. And the only other people that benefit are globalist, super rich, evil people who want to use their international institutions, ones they control, like the United Nations, to run the whole world. And to do that, they have to weaken and divide and conquer and confuse people in countries worldwide, so they're all messed up and not comfortable in their own skin or with each other. And then bad policies that they can't do anything about can weaken their countries for more globalist, global governance control. So the only people that benefit are human traffickers who do this for money, and globalist super rich people above them who facilitate this whole process with their control over many sellout governments or media or education, plus international bodies like the UN that push for stuff like open borders. They're the only ones that benefit from this in the long term, while human traffickers do in the short term. So I strongly recommend the movie Borderless. And since this migrant crisis and what Lauren Southern is working on affects everybody in the world, no matter what country you live in, you are going to be affected one way and another by these current policies. You might think, well, I'm insulated in some way. No, you'll eventually get hit by this as this becomes more normal, unless we expose some of the problems with it and push back on it. So that's why men worldwide should try and man up and help take her place, and I'll get into some more reasons for why that's a good idea. I saw Lauren Southern retiring, as I said, in an interview with Stefan Molyneux, world-famous philosopher Stefan Molyneux, who's also a good friend of Lauren's. And this interview was published on June 3rd, 2019. I saw it at the BitChute video channel, and I'll put a link to it below. And it was about a half an hour, 35-minute interview. And in it, she says, you know, she's obviously done some great work and to be commended. That's why she's got millions of fans worldwide who she informs and empowers and who financially support her and share her work and so on. And yet she spent from the age of 19 to 23, 24, the last 5 years or so, heavily involved in politics. Now, you know, if any of you out there have been 19 to 24, I've been 19 to 24 before, you know that that's a time where a lot of people don't want to get political. They just want to be young, good-looking people, partying and getting along with other young, good-looking people. Woo-woo, drank my face off. Woo-woo, fooled around with cute boy, cute girl, blah, 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 right? Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but it's certainly, you know, part of the young experience, especially in Western countries. And I think the young experience kind of worldwide, where when you're young, you want to be good looking, you want to be getting out there and social and sort of making those connections that can see you through the rest of your life when it comes to finding someone you can settle down with, finding, you know, a great career and so on, right? So she has spent her years from, you know, 19 to 23, 24 heavily involved in politics, and not just reading about politics online or watching videos or tweeting or making memes. She's been a central figure in the culture wars over the last 5 years, where she is one of the main globally recognized patriots out there who people either love by the millions or hate by the handfuls, and it's often people who hate themselves and just passing it on, right? It's something that can be considered, but ultimately, when you see her informing and empowering and making millions of people happier, you can't just let a few jerks, because catching feelings, you know, stop that from happening. Or ultimately, you won't have anybody where you live making anybody happy, if anybody can do that to people who make a lot of people happy, without directly threatening or attacking, you know, other people. And she doesn't do that. So this is just, you know, miserable lying, bitching, catching feelings, making sure nobody can be happy. And it's something that we've got to fight against generally as a principle in our modern culture, where you can say, oh, they should be deplatformed. It's like they've got millions of fans who they like them. If you don't like them, just don't watch them. Turn them off. You know, these people aren't all bad. No, they shouldn't be able to do that. No, okay, fine. What about anybody that can be nice to and help and inform and empower anybody? No, this person's upset. Oh, fine. Nobody will be able to do that, right? And that's, you know, part of problems that people are having worldwide right now is this sort of culture where that is more normal, to sort of catch feelings and not let other people help people feel better until nobody can. But anyway, back to the Lauren Southern interview with Stefan Molyneux. She mentioned that she was heavily involved in politics, and she doesn't just want to react to everything. She doesn't just want to react to everything that happens, because you can always do this. That's what Twitter often is, and videos, YouTube videos, other videos out there, or memes or whatever. There's stuff to react to every day, happening every day in a timely way. Or there's stuff that's always been happening that you can always talk about. I can go on and on and on without stopping, based on all the things I know that are worth talking about and worth sharing with people, and just like most people can, right? There's always something out there. There's some current events, or there's some history, or there's some analysis, or there's some personal stuff that you can help people with, or social stuff, how we generally get along, or cultural stuff in terms of the culture wars and how it's affecting us, or political stuff all the time. There's people on different sides of issues that do something stupid and you can laugh at it. You can make this a constant thing, and some people do, right? Whether it's on Twitter or with news sites or videos and so on. But she doesn't want to do that. In fact, she stopped doing that to some degree, got off social media, hardly made regular videos, and focused on making the movie Borderless, right? So that was her kind of grand contribution, to kind of step away and make something that was bigger than the day-to-day, wow, isn't this crazy, forget about it, the next isn't that crazy, forget about it, the next isn't that crazy, forget about it style, which can be effective and helpful. But ultimately, she wanted to make a more timeless work like Borderless that really captures the world we live in and helps us understand it and improve it. And so she did that, and through this process, and especially at the tender age of 19 to 23 or 24, getting burned out, she now wants to kind of step back and retire. And with the interview with Stefan Molyneux, she talked about borderless and retirement. She wants to step back and retire and take a break and kind of live a more well-rounded life. Not just be involved in politics or the related culture wars, but step back and have a more well-rounded life. Maybe not just read a tweet and write a tweet, but read a book and think about a book. And then, be a more developed person for that. I'm not saying she's never read a book, but I'm just saying in principle, and in terms of more of the way she lives, she wants to step back from the political arena and live a more well-rounded life. And she also wants to possibly get married and start a family, right? And this is something where, if you're patriots out there, you can't just be like, boo-hoo, she sucks, she should be doing this, why would she? It's like, no, this is what patriots want to fight for. You want to fight for a place where men can be good at being men, women can be good at being women, which includes being good wives and mothers, raising good kids, and all of that contributing to a good culture where you live. So, I personally, I'm totally fine with this. You can't put pressure on her to say you should be doing more. Would I like her to do more? Yes and no. Because she's really good at it, and she can inform and empower millions of people around the world as nationalists, saving where they live and the people where they live, and improving it from globalism, which seeks to confuse, divide, and conquer and weaken us so they can control us. Absolutely. But as a lovely young lady who's already done a lot and who wants to step back, live a more thoughtful, well-rounded life, and possibly settle down with a nice fella and raise some nice kids, how am I supposed to crap on that? Right? And this gets to my central thesis. Lauren Southern has retired. Will men worldwide man up and take her place? So I'll get into that. And one point is, men historically never made their women fight. Historically, men never made their women fight. Right? If something was bothering a woman, then you tried to make her not bothered. She's bothered, she'll end up bothering you and killing you both, right? Just like anybody else, right? So you tried to make sure nothing was bothering her and no one was bothering her, right? And so when it comes to this, men never made their women fight, right? If women were like, oh, there's a tiger, eating children in the village, men are like, so, what are you going to do? Well, I guess I'll go out there and bring my pots and pans and try and beat it over the head, make it stop. It's like, no, right? Woman goes, hey, there's a tiger eating kids in the village, right? And men go, what? Up, honey, get inside, close the door, take care of the kids. Guys, let's get the bows and arrows, the axes, the knives, the sticks, the spears. Let's go try and hunt down that tiger and kill that tiger. That's what men do. That's what men did. Now, fighting could be an option for women if they could fight, if they want to fight. Otherwise, the women's auxiliary just puts you both in a good mood, right? Oh, we're inspiring. Oh, my goodness. You'll be so nice. I'll be so nice to you when you get back. Hope you get back. And men, it's been a priority. It's always been a priority. It's how men have always felt like men. There's always been something going on, right? You're not bothered and bothering people. You're not nothing on my mind, nothing to do. You're not useless this. Men want to feel useful. Women want to feel special. You can say that to anybody, right? And you can say, now, if they are politically correct and they go, not supposed to say anything about anything, not supposed to do anything, politically correct, supposed to repeat boring stuff nobody cares about that we can't talk because why bother, right? Then you might get some pushback. But ultimately, if you can get into a private conversation, guys will be like, you know what, you're right. You're absolutely right. I want to feel useful. My woman wants to feel special. Doesn't mean that women can't be useful and men can't be special. But ultimately, in terms of what our priorities are, men want to feel useful and women want to feel special. Men are like, I did this, I did that. Women are like, I am this, I am that, right? And that's the baseline for being nice and cool and having self-respect and respecting and valuing each other. So historically, men have always gotten respect for making sure they're cool, other people are cool, and where they live is cool. Like everybody we've ever respected. All of our favorite artists, intellectuals, religious figures, political leaders. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do, right? When it's Bob Marley saying, could you be loved and be loved? That's what he's saying, right? Make sure you're cool. Other people are cool. Where you live is cool. If you do that, then you can make sure where you live is cool. If you don't, you can't. You'll be a mess for yourself and other people to put up with and make other people a mess, right? Jesus, Martin Luther King, everybody, name one. Even people today, people, who you admire in the political or culture wars or so on. They try and do that. I'm cool. I can tell you how to be cool and make sure where you live is cool, right? And so that's always been how men have gotten respect. Everybody that men have ever respected, and people in general, women and children also respect men who've done that. And women and kids should be able to do that too. Anybody old enough to babysit should be able to do that. If you're a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl or boy, and you have to babysit your 5, 6, 7-year-old, sister or brother, then you should make sure you're cool, other people there are cool, and where you are is cool, right? So everybody should. But in the broader sense, it's been men that have been the most responsible for that, right? Women can be more mercurial at times, and for a variety of reasons, and no problem, something to deal with, right? And so on. So it's always been a priority for men to be able to do that. And today, if men want to get respect, just act like everyone you've ever respected. But we're encouraged to do the opposite, right? Today, men are not supposed to even talk, let alone fight. So if you can't talk, why bother thinking? And then you can't fight, right? So you're not supposed to think, talk, or fight today, right? You're not supposed to talk, let alone fight. And that's globalist divide and conquer brainwashing. Saying, guys, don't act like men. Don't be men. Don't be, badass dudes. Why don't you just rebel? What's so rebellious? What makes you such a badass? You have so much courage is acting like a woman, right? But unless you're really good at it and taking it seriously, right? If you're just kind of half-assing it, the way we're encouraged to, then other men don't respect that. Nothing to look at, nothing to see, don't want to put up with it. Women don't respect that, and kids don't respect that. So that means men talk less and less and less the more they do that. And women encouraged more to act like men. Up in your face, blah, 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 blah. So, men don't respect that, like that. Women don't, kids don't. Right? So we're being turned into people who we don't like and respect and are having trouble communicating with. And this is part of the brainwashing that we've got to beat. And videos like this and analysis like this hopefully helps. And we're supposed to act like messed up girls. Oh, you know how it is. How's it going? Oh, fine. Messed up girl. You know how it is. Feel sorry for myself. Bother people who put up with it. Hope them feel sorry for me. But they don't because I bother people so nobody cares. Oh, no, I'm such a mess, right? Men are supposed to act like messed up girls and make everyone else put up with and act like messed up girls, if that's what they're supposed to do, instead of what they've always been charged with, making sure no one acts like a messed up girl. You make sure your own girl isn't messed up, your family girls aren't messed up, your friend girls, your coworker girls, and girls around the world are not messed up, right? That's what your job is. If they're messed up for some reason, you fix it, right? Heard something stupid, your friend's stupid and jealous and single and they're just trying to screw us up. Don't listen to them. Don't argue with them. You still want to be friends with them. You can't be like arguing like guys and still be friends. But don't be messed up by it and don't mess us up. Oh, okay, you're probably right. Yeah, I hope she gets a boyfriend soon. No big deal. Done. Finished. Or the news. Oh, TV said this. Oh, don't worry about the TV. Blah, blah. Got it. Take care of it, right? Anything outside the house, especially, guys got to take care of. That includes the front lawn, the garage, the world, right? Anything inside the house, more women think, oh, this place is nicer. This place would be a lot nicer, with more female touches and so on. Every place, right? So you're not supposed to do that. Today we're not supposed to talk, right? And you're not supposed to talk about anything, let alone say women, right? It's like, hey, this is what I think of women. You know what I think as a man? I've tested all this with my manforwars.com experiences, so I know all this stuff is cool, right? With millions, right? Like an artist, like Coldplay from Chris Martin from Coldplay, where he says, "And all that noise and all that sound, in all the spaces I got found, well, thoughts come flying at the speed of sound to show you how it all began. Thoughts came flying from the underground. If you could see it, then you'd understand." Right? I did all that in terms of my experiences dealing with guys messing with each other and messing with girls and kids and not putting up with it and having a lot of positive feedback, confirming from people that, yeah, I know nobody likes it, but, that's how it goes. That's just what's happening. I can't do anything, say anything, right? So I validate all this stuff. And yet the brainwashing is very strong. We beat it, we're fine. We don't, we're screwed. We can just act messed up near anybody that can help us until they're messed up. And this is how communists as well killed 100 million people in the 20th century. They killed 50 million Russians, or around there, according to estimates, 50 million Chinese, millions of Cambodians, others, by saying, hey, no more gender. We are strong Russian men. We are fine Russian women. No, you are all comrade now. We want to have a good family. No family. State is your family. Political correctness. Say what government tells you, right? And it's like, oh, but what about our traditions? What about our Russian traditions? No tradition. We need to replace all this. You don't understand. Everything sucked. We need to make everything equal, everyone same. Then we will be happy. Don't you see people there have less than you? No, you can't do it. And then all the smart, successful, happy, good-looking people who are like, hey, no, we're smart, successful, happy, good-looking people who can talk. They were all attacked by commie zombies competitively bitching, right? They were competitively bitching. I'm a bitch, I'm a commie zombie bitch. Anti-free speech commie, just like today, with the Antifa-style anti-free speech genderless zombies are making most people into genderless commie zombies, right? They would competitively bitch. And they would competitively bitch about how messed up they are to get credit for it, how messed up things were, how they couldn't do anything about it. They would competitively bitch. And then they would make more bitches who made more bitches who made more bitches. And just like today. And if they couldn't switch you, if they couldn't bitch and bitch and bitch until you turned into a bitch who made more bitches who made more bitches, then they'd snitch. If they couldn't switch you, they'd snitch. Hey, they'd snitch on you. They'd censor you by trying to stop you from communicating and helping people do something else. And they'd censor you, or they'd have you arrested or killed, right? That's what they did. And the same thing is happening today. when it comes to how people are acting, where they're attacking gender so people can't act nice enough to talk. And then people don't respect each other. Guys are sheepish, sideways, lying, bitchy, sketchy mess. Girls put up with and act like it. Kids doing the same, with these type of role models. And then everyone competitively bitches, right? That's what they're doing. It's the same type of commie brainwashing. And with the communists, they got more and more hardcore as long as this was, the brainwashing, as long as this is what they were supposed to do. So, the communists would be like, well, you know what? That village over there, they have nice, helpful, smart, attractive people who are happy and who have nice families and who value where they live and traditions. They don't believe in the commie zombie takeover. Miserable bitches making more bitches who make more bitches. Things suck. You don't understand. Who are you? Don't even talk. Don't say anything different. We can't talk to each other because we're commie zombies. We can't talk to people who disagree. So screw it. We'll just make sure you can't talk and turn you into one, right? The same thing today, right? And so they would competitively bitch in the sense that, one commie zombie would be like, we will kill all the men in the village who don't agree. And then some other bitchy mess was like, oh yeah, I can be even more of a bitchy zombie. We will kill all the women in the village. Oh, oh yeah, we will kill even all the children in the village. And even some of the zombies looking at each other like, I don't know if I want to attack kids. And the other people look at each other, don't stop. Nope, don't you say anything. We're all competing. And the same thing happening today, where guys bother each other, bother girls, bother kids, anybody that's nice, happy, good-looking, attractive, that can talk, that can be cool, that can make people happy, attacked by commie zombies until you're turned into one that's attacking people and making more commie zombies, right? So this is what's happening today, where all the men are encouraged to act like messed up girls instead of making sure nobody does, right? Because then it's all the same, right? And men, unless they take it super seriously, right? Like I've met some twinkie, skinny, blonde, gay guy, at the Mac store, right? And, it's a Mac cosmetic store. And, there's a skinny, twinkie, blonde, gay guy there, right? And he's just a little feminine, vulnerable guy wearing makeup. And he's vulnerable, right? There's confident masculine strength, meets and confirms the same. Guys straight up, don't lie, look each other in the eye, don't make each other uncomfortable. Stay polite and busy or friendly to be respected. Women can do the same, but also be gracefully distracting and share attractive looks with nice guys, right? And put you both in a good mood. With guys being turned into rude, ugly girls, there's no sharing because there's no nice girl default, right? There's no backup plan. With the twinkie gay guy at the Mac store, right? It's just a skinny little twinkie blonde gay guy. He's just like, oh, hey, Mr. Man, I hope you're nice to me. I'm just a cute little girly guy. I smile. Sure, buddy. Not into it, but you're not bad at it. So sure, smile. Nice to you. You're hoping a badass dude is nice to a girly guy. No problem. Because you're taking it seriously, right? You're not brainwashed into it turning into a zombie, right? And so, excuse me. So you're actually taking it seriously. You're putting on makeup, you're wearing a dress, there's something to look at. Like you really want to be a vulnerable, girly guy, right? Or if you're a trans guy, I don't recommend this stuff for everybody, but if you're going to do it, you can at least take it seriously, right? The problem today is that guys, are being brainwashed to act like that without taking it seriously. So then they have to force people to put up with them. They've got to get worked up and force you to look at them, right? To the point where they don't respect each other. And because guys are being trapped in girl world, and then destroying girl world and killing each other by acting like rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls, busting each other's balls, making it hard to respect anyone and talk. Anybody they do respect is attacked, right? And then jealously bothering girls, trying to trick or force other guys to look at them like they're a real girl, and then making kids act like that. Nobody can show or get any respect. Right? So they're basically killing each other and killing women and children. That's what's happening today as a result of this process, of this brainwashing, right? That's what's happening. So, because otherwise you share attractive and empowering looks or your own vulnerability, right? Even if you're not attractive, you can at least be vulnerable. If you're a 103-year-old woman And you're not sort of getting checked out anymore. You can still be, well, I'm just a sweet old lady. I hope you're nice to me. And you smile. Okay, sweet old lady. I'm, happy to be nice to you as a badass dude. Oh, thank you, Sonny. I've got a nice little smile and a twinkle in my eye, like I'm putting a gold star on your lapel, right? It doesn't matter. From 3 to 103, they all got something they can share, as long as guys don't turn into rude, ugly versions, and then make everyone else put up with and act like them, right? But that's what's happening today. And the thing is that with guys who aren't taking it seriously as part of this process, there's no attractive girl to switch to, right? If you're a real girl and you're a real actual female, girl, or you're even a guy that's taking it seriously, right? But especially if you're a real female, right? I've had girlfriends before and so on, and great times. And if they're like bitchy mess, no reason, right? And you're like, no, bark, yank, spank, or time out. Forget it. Like, okay, fine. Just sulky, cute girl. Didn't mean to be mean. Forgive me. You're like, look, smile, sulky, cute girl. Yeah, no problem, honey. Some stupidness. You're not in trouble. I wasn't bothered. Who cares? And she's like, okay, fine. Now I'm the most fun you'll have all day, right? It's not because they have some cute default, right? With guys, there is no cute default. There is no vulnerability, right? With each other, with confident masculine strength and feminine vulnerability to slowly share something, vulnerability, being nice, moving slower, being attractive, being sweet. With guys, there is no vulnerability. There's no attractive girl to switch to. Now, if you're a Twinkie gay guy, or if you're a trans guy or something, maybe you can do that. But if you're not, you don't have it. There's nothing there, right? If I'm just like, hey, guy, I was acting bitchy. Yeah, I was acting bitchy. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Just look at me anyway. Sorry about acting bitchy. There's nothing to look at. There's no makeup, no hair done, no dress, no girly stuff, nothing. So they have nothing to look at, right? That's how they make everyone act like a rude, ugly girl, sort of a zombie, a rude, ugly girl zombie, right? And I've got lots of video proof of that at manforwars.com. So, and as part of men being trapped in girl world, as rude, ugly girls. Hey, put up with me, put up with me, put up with me. Oh, force you to see me look sketchy, bitchy, play with my hair, wipe my nose. Oh, force you to look at my ass. Oh, force you to look at my body. Oh, I'm running fast, see if I can get away with it, right? And then making everyone else sort of put up with and act like that because there's no men around to kind of get along with, no men around for women to be attracted with, no men around for kids to be, emulate. So everyone turns into sort of a rude, ugly girl zombie. As part of that process, you've got to think, well, what is girl world, right? Girl world is when a girl is nice to you and she's attractive and vulnerable and feminine in some way, but you're not supposed to say anything. That's girl world, right? Now, sometimes they'll talk about it, or they'll have magazines where they talk about this and that or whatever, but when it's actually happening, you're not supposed to talk about it, right? Like if you go to a bar and you're there to order a beer and the waitress is wearing a low-cut top and she's cute or whatever, and she leans forward, she goes, hey guys, what can I get you? Look, oh, I'll take a couple of beers or whatever. You're not supposed to say, or nobody else is supposed to say, hey, excuse me, did you just squeeze your boobs together when you leaned forward so you could show off to those guys a bit and maybe get a good tip and build a good relationship so they keep ordering drinks from you? Right? Did you just do that when you just leaned forward and squeezed your boobs together? Did you do that on purpose? No, how dare you? I didn't do that. What are you talking about? I just dress for myself. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I all do it all for me. Yeah, BS, right? But you're not supposed to say it. You're not supposed to talk about it, right? If she's 23 and being sexy, if she's 103 and just being a nice old lady, excuse me, were you just a real sweetie right there with a twinkle in your eye and a smile on your face just to, give me the warm fuzzies and what are you talking about? I don't owe you anything. You're not supposed to talk about it, right? That's girl world, right? Or if she's 3 years old and, she's like, I eat a little bit of yogurt with a little spoon, but if I want more yogurt, I use even the bigger spoon. Yeah, I like eating a little bit of yogurt with this tiny spoon, gives me a little bit, and you say, excuse me, little 3-year-old girl, Are you being really cute and with how you're doing that so that you can be charming and you can be nice and sweet and attractive and you can, put me in a good mood and hope I'm nice to you? She'll look at you like, what are you doing, dude? What the hell's wrong with you? Right? So that's girl world, right? And what the globalist brainwashing is doing is they are trapping men in girl world where they're acting like rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly zombie girls, all the same, because unless they are taking it seriously, like a Twinkie gay guy or a trans guy or something, then there's no point in doing anything different. There's nothing appropriate for the guys. That's why it's all the same, right? It's, hey, ready to start running and forcing people to put up with us? Ready to start running like a zombie? See that nice person over there? Bother them. Run near them. Get away with this. Get away with that. Act stupid. Stupid look on my face like I farted. Did that work? Did I do it right? This never works. How did I do? Right? They're trapping guys in girl world. And you're not supposed to talk about it. They'll get embarrassed. They'll lie. They'll argue. I mean, I've got the last 2+ years on video from January 2017 through May of 2019. And they just keep going. I got my laptop, I got my webcam, I got this other thing, I got a little camera. They just keep going. It's whatever. They'll walk in front of you and they'll be like, yeah, play with my hair. Look at my ass. Look at me play with my hair. Look at my ass. Look at me play with my hair. Look at my ass. This never works, right? And then anytime somebody does get attention who's attractive, they try and steal it. Hey, look at me, look ugly, like you're nice to that person. Look at me, right? And they keep bullying other men into putting up with and acting like them. And they jealously bother girls if any girl gets attractive attention. So the girl's got to go, all right, screw it. I can't be vulnerable and feminine and attractive anymore near people because some bitchy, sketchy zombie guy just freaks out near me or bumps into me or follows me around trying to trick or force other idiot guys into looking at him like he's a real girl, or he's trying to be a girl, or he's putting any effort into it. And so they're destroying a girl world. They're destroying people's ability to communicate with each other, respect each other offline, and they're destroying kids' ability to grow up to be good at being men and women. And so that is a significant part of the globalist brainwashing. And that's why, men not being supposed to talk at all is ridiculous, because women love men who talk about them. Baby, I love this. Baby, I love when you do this. Baby, I love when you do that. Baby, don't do that. Baby, I do this for you. That's what they love, that, right? And I'll give you an example of that. Because just yesterday, on Sunday, June 2nd, 2019, I was at in downtown Toronto. I was just outside of Jurassic Park, which is the Toronto Raptors fan area outside, where a bunch of fans get together and watch on a big screen. Other fans maybe mill about outside of that, just outside the Scotiabank Arena, before NBA Finals Game 2 between the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Raptors won Game 1 last Thursday. I was there quietly with my my webcam and laptop, just listening to a podcast, not saying or doing anything, just for an hour and a half, filming how people were attacking a nice, polite Canadian man like a zombie and getting off on being ignored, like lying bitches begging to be broken, pretend bitchy, sketchy, ugly old wives or girlfriends, or any pretend bitchy, sketchy, ugly girl that would rather be ignored than be with someone they don't respect who doesn't respect them, right? Or mentally ill homeless people who, hey, force people to put up with me, bother people who don't like it, they don't like me. Hey, oh, you ignored it. Well, even better, best I can do. I never show or get respect, so the best I can do is be ignored, instead of having someone not like me or bother me. Great. So for an hour and a half, I was just listening to a podcast, a Joe Rogan podcast with comedian Anthony Jeselnik, number 1286, just whatever, in my headphones. And I just filmed myself sitting there chilling, not doing or saying anything. And just an hour and a half of people, hey, run up, see that nice, polite Canadian guy? Worked up, bother him, force him to put up with me. Oh, run away, at least we're not in trouble. Oh, he's not all messed up, we're not in trouble, right? Just like girlfriends of mine have occasionally been bitchy for no reason while I've been watching a Raptors game, not as a habit, like I'm not stupid for no reason, but they'll be like, bitchy mess. It's like, nope, watching the game. Bark, yank, spank, or most importantly, timeout. Nothing to do with this. Fine, shuffle off. I'm not messed up or pissed off. They're not in trouble. Whatever. Who cares? It's nothing. Right? So, same thing. So I filmed myself for an hour and a half doing that on Thursday, May 30th, 2019, before Game 1, which the Raptors won. And then yesterday, before Game 2, I was there. And I had my little camera, and I filmed myself walking in and kind of explaining what was happening, which is going on. And and then I sat down with my laptop, also breaking it down as people were there. So first time saying nothing. It's not me. It's not me because I'm yelling. It's not me because I'm doing anything. This happens when you do nothing. As long as you're acting like a human, not bothering people like a lying, bitchy, sketchy zombie, then people will attack you and try and turn you into one. Now, the fact that I'm yelling and saying something is a different story. So here's a little clip from a video that's uploaded but not posted yet from yesterday, June 2nd, 2019, of me, my manforwars.com sign, newspaper, just avoiding people acting rude, puts you in a good mood, not losing my self-respect, keep my own so that I can help other people have it or just mind my business. And I usually just politely ignore it, and everybody understands. As it's been getting worse for the last 8 years, it's been accepted or respected and appreciated by people who know it's safe to be nice. It's like, ooh, yelling angry man, you're probably super nice if I'm super nice. You're like, you're damn right I am. Oh, yelling angry man. You know, you're probably just like the movie Fight Club, where in the movie Fight Club, there was one character with two different sides of his personality, right, that were kind of represented. So, like Fight Club, I'm polite like Ed Norton's at Tim Hortons, and sometimes I'm talking crazy shit like Brad Pitt in terms of the movie Fight Club and the characters there. And the same, I'll do this near a Tim Hortons. This is stupid. This is crazy. People should stop. And they'd be like, I feel like I need a coffee. Go inside to the Tim Hortons, you know, avoiding people acting rude, not doing it myself. People know it's safe to be nice, so they either want to act rude and be ignored, or they really appreciate the chance to be nice, right? They look, this is great. You're a guy I know that I can be nice to, who's not going to act like a bitchy, sketchy mess and get embarrassed and lie and argue, you know, and, you know, when it comes to doing that. And so you're actually safe to be nice. Guys straight up, cool. Girls cute, friendly, right? Kids look up, hey, it's great. I can be nice to you, right? Because it's safe to. Whereas in a lot of cases, it's not. So there's a real hunger for that. But I go to the Tim Hortons, you know, excuse me. Yes, you know, or how can I help you? Yes, I'll take a large half white hot chocolate, half coffee, 3 milks, and 1 sugar, please. It's like, oh, great. That'll be $2. I'm like, okay, here's $2. Here's a quarter tip. And by the way, thank you so much. If we're nice to each other, if nobody's worked up bothering each other like this girl world, lying, bitchy, sketchy, commie zombie thing, right? I'm not worked up making them put up with me. They're not worked up verbally or physically making me put up with them. I'll say, you know what? You know, I appreciate you being friendly. I know you deal with a lot of people. It's rush hour. And if you can still be, you know, friendly and help put your customers in a good mood, I'm sure we all appreciate that. And the person at Tim Hortons, oh, thank you so much, you know. I appreciate that. Have a great day. Your coffee's over there. Oh, thanks. You too. You can do these things when you're nice to each other, right? So I say all that to kind of frame this appropriately. This is a little clip from me yesterday, June 2nd, 2019, before Game 2 of the NBA Finals in downtown Toronto outside Jurassic Park, filming and explaining what's going on and explaining you got to be cool if you're a 14-year-old and you're babysitting, if you're 40 years old or whatever, and seeing waves and waves of people and how this is, if this is cool in diverse Toronto, it's probably cool worldwide as a principle, at least, that people can use. So here's a little bit.
Don't be a mess for yourself or other people to put up with. Don't lose your self-respect and take anyone else's. Help people have it. Is that what they want? Take a look. What happened to all the nice, smart people? What happened to all the nice, smart, good-looking people in Toronto? This is how they were killed. All the nice, smart, good-looking, happy people. What happened? This is how they were killed. Hey, look at that nice person there. They're happy. Lying, bitchy, sketchy, mentally ill, homeless person, zombie. Pretend ugly old wife, girlfriend. Yeah. Put up with me. Yeah, that's what I do to nice, happy people. So what are people supposed to do? I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not great at it, but I'm not awful at it. So I got manforwars.com. try and help out if people are interested, or I just blindly ignore it, which is accepted and appreciated for the last 8 years. It's been getting worse. People are like, either like, hey, I like being ignored, you're stupid. Oh, yeah. Or they're like, hey, it's safe to be nice. It's safe to be nice. It's safe to look at you without just looking away from you and acting sketchy. Oh, just look away from you. Act sketchy. It's safe to be nice to you. Right? And so people are really nice. Guys are nice. Girls are nice. There's a really cute girl who just said, go Raptors, and made me smile just on the way up here. Right? Some cool guys just kind of looked at me like, oh yeah, man, that stuff. I hate that stuff. I just want to have a good time at the Raptors game. I'm like, I agree. Right? Some guys are like, oh yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Cute girls like, wee-hoo, right? It's safe to be nice. Otherwise, it's not safe to be nice. That's all you can do. And if you're bigger, you get no respect, like all the men you've ever admired in history. All the men who make sure they're cool, other people are cool where they live's cool. If you're a woman or a kid, you don't show or get any respect either, and then you turn to zombies. You see? It just wants to force you to put up with it. It doesn't give a crap about what you're doing. It just wants to get worked up and go, hey, yeah, put up with me. Rude, sketchy zombie, spaz out, bother you. That's all it cares about. I'm not making it up. I got the last couple of years on video. We've gone on for the last 8 years. I got some before that. I know exactly how it happened and how to stop it. Done it before. And you know, here we are. Right?
So, and there's even better footage with a static laptop webcam sitting there, so you can see the people running by, getting worked up, trying to force you to see them spaz out, play with their hair, wipe their nose, act quickly, run quickly, or just running up close to you, stupid look on their face. Did I do this right? You're not paying attention? Run away, frustrated. Oh, sorry, here's my ass, turning around. Bothered you, bitchy, sketchy, bothered you. Oh, sorry, here's my ass. This is what's happening, right? To men who aren't manning up on behalf of people like Ms. Lauren Southern and others. And so it's really, really important, right? And, you know, this is something that I think can inspire men. Lauren Southern's retirement, right? Because you got to make sure your patriotic women can live the values that they fought for and that you fought for. As I said, to be good wives and mothers, raising good kids, making good cultures. That's the point of being patriots, right? And this is also why the offline info war is so important. Online is fine, but we've got to win the offline info war, right? Online, you know, for thousands of years, there was an offline information war. Thousands of years ago, there was a guy walking around, maybe a prophet or a whatever, and you know, there was like, oh no, there's an eclipse, we're all going to die, sacrifice your kids. And somebody would be like, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Don't just kill your kids because the moon is blocking the sun for a half an hour, right? Don't do that. Don't. Stop, right? Just calm down. Think about it, right? Like, but gonna kill kid for moon block sun for a half hour, kill kid, maybe that will stop. No, stop, knock it off. Don't be so stupid, right? So thousands of years ago, there was people that were doing that, making sure people were informed and empowered in different places. Could be a priest or a prophet or just some smart or ballsy person, right? That was thousands of years ago, offline, before the internet, right? And then after that, there was things like an apple crate in the middle of town, small towns. There'd be a market there. People would be working all week or whatever, and then on the weekend they'd go to the market to buy groceries, sell each other stuff or whatever, and there might be a little apple crate on the ground, and you'd stand on the apple crate and you'd be like, verily in this kingdom I think we need a new bridge over yon river, for there are fine berries on the other side of that river, and if we could get to those berries we could have delicious berry pie. So I think I petition the public to petition the king to put a new bridge over yon river. And people walking by would hear, you know, they'd either stop and listen, or they'd just keep walking, or if they didn't like it, they'd throw rotten fruit and vegetables at you and get you the hell off there, right? But that's the old model of the offline information war, where you would be in the public, you would get the public's opinion, the public would react to what you were saying and what you were doing, and you could move off that, right? Taxes too high, need a new bridge here, people should be nicer to each other, whatever, right? So walking around or apple crate, or they had official speaker's corner, right? Where in England, they had one. They used to have one in Toronto, but they took it out. They don't want anybody talking here, as you can tell with that video, and other stuff. But the Speaker's Corner is the official. If you are a member of the general public, you can take your turn at Speaker's Corner. And if you are part of the general public, you can go to Speaker's Corner and you can hear other people just like you speak. Now, normally wouldn't necessarily do that at work or at a party or at home or whatever. But if you got something to say, you go there and you say it. You get it out there to people offline, not just online. Online is fine, or more censored these days, but online is fine and helps a lot. But we've got to win the offline information war. There was also meetings and magazines and posters and flyers to hand out locally to inform and empower people locally where you live. So they connect better with you and people you're associated with, and they connect better with each other, and they get better politicians and better policies and make better people and places to live, right? That's the offline information war. Online is often, typing to like-minded strangers in different parts of the world who you don't really connect with that well, right? You can go through Twitter, you can go through YouTube or BitChute or other video site comments. You can use Gab, AI, right? And you're like, well, I'm just, you're on the internet, just typing random sentences to strangers, right? Sometimes getting into a bit of a back and forth. But all of that tends to screw up your relationships. First of all, social media, ruins your attention span, can mess with your feelings and emotions, can make you feel more distant from people. It's like eating a bunch of potato chips instead of a steak, where you can keep eating the potato chips, but they don't satisfy you the way a steak would satisfy you with the protein and whatever, right? And so long term, just focusing on the online information war can actually weaken people and weaken cultures and make them easier to control. Whereas the offline information war, thousands of years ago, there was also posters. They put up posters. I think 3,000 years ago was kind of the first recorded thing where people were putting up posters as activists to agitate, right? Or handing out flyers and so on. Before the American Revolution in 1776, for 10 years, there were committees of correspondence where different people in the 13 colonies would write letters to each other. Verily, I think here the taxes are too high in these American colonies, and we should do something. Well, I know, but not sure how the people will feel. Well, we shall find out how the people will feel in New England, and we will write you back, in Texas. It's like, fine, we shall write you back and figure this out. For 10 years, they were writing letters to each other. And then they got together, offline, no internet back then, 250 years ago or whatever, and that's how they did it. That's how they connected with people. So that's really, really important, is the offline information war, and we're being discouraged from doing that today. We're discouraged to sort of focus only on online. So for men out there to man up, where you live, on behalf of, Lauren Southern and others, and take her place in the information war, do keep that in mind. And that's a much more male thing to do. And myself and my colleagues at a group I was with called Toronto Truth Seekers, we had a great time doing that. We were a bunch of badass dudes putting up posters, handing out flyers, mailboxes, windshields, businesses. People around us respected us for it. Said, well, those guys seem like they're badass dudes who are up to something good, up to something cool, up to something dangerous, but also good for people and good for where you live. Cool. Yeah, they're badass. They're fine. Cops fine. Everybody's fine. They like it, right? They're badass dudes. As opposed to the lying, bitchy, sketchy zombie mess who's obsessed with forcing people to put up with him because men shoved into girl world. You just say, oh, well, I just forced you to look at me, forced you to put up with me. Don't say anything. I'll get embarrassed. I'll lie. I'll argue. I'll make everyone put up with an act like this till we can't respect each other and empower each other and talk off the internet. And then we'll feel sorry for ourselves and we'll bother people because we're always bothered. But then we're bothering people, so we don't respect each other enough to talk about what's bothering us. So we're always bothered, and then we're always bothering people. Like that's the difference, right? And so we've got to transcend the online information war locally and turn it into an offline information war. Posters, flyers, mailboxes, this and that, help people be cooler with each other where you live, as opposed to everyone mess where you live. And then on internet, oh, this sucks, that sucks, Trudeau sucks, watch out for fluoride, blah, 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 watch this video, share this meme, ooh, funny this, clown world. Yeah, fine. But offline, what are you up to, right? And so that's crucially important for if men are going to man up out there. And men will take a leadership role on this, right? They get out there. If they get mixed up with somebody, they're men. They can mix it up easier. They're more physically active, that sort of thing. They like to go. Even little boys run. Little girls play house. That's why, boys and girls are different. Even baby boys. Baby boys will react to movement, like a diorama. Ooh, diorama, spinning. Just newborn babies. Whereas little girls won't react to the moving, spinning diorama so much. They'll react to a picture of a smiley face, right? Even just newborn baby girls. Newborn baby boys like spinning diorama. Newborn baby girls like smiley face, smile at smiley face, smiling at me, right? And that's, through the whole life, right? Now, people can transcend that. There are some women activists out there getting on the ground, but even if you look at groups of activists today, it's still 80-90% men, and then, 10%, 5-10% women. And even when I've been around, like I've been around on May 4th, 2019, a bunch of Canadian nationalist activists, as I said earlier in this video, the girls there, when I started manning up and getting the other guys to man up and chill out and stop acting bitchy and sketchy, and they all got embarrassed and mostly stopped, and they were kind of scared to and embarrassed to near each other. And I have all this on video. There's a video on my website called Locally Connect People and Polite Patriots to Beat Globalism, right? And I was like, all right, good. You want people to take, themselves and other people and where they live seriously? And stop acting rude and sketchy. Yep, got away with it. Yep. Force you to see me look sketchy. You know how it is. Yep, can't talk. Force you to see me look sketchy. You know how it is. Hey, don't do that. Got my camera. Don't do that. Don't do that. No lying, bitchy, sketchy shit. No pretend rude, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girlfriend shit. Don't do that. The guys with each other, oh, don't do that. So almost stopped. And then when they stopped, they chilled out with each other. They went, oh, wait a second. So nobody's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Rude, sketchy, bitchy. Looked like I farted. Nobody said anything. How'd it go? Forced you to look at it. Hope nobody saw it. Nobody said anything. Right? Instead of doing that stupid stuff, they got along with each other. They respected each other. They started talking, and I got all this on camera, a lot of it on camera, where I was just like a bunch of guys talking, and all the guys manned up. Like, you know what? We're not going to act stupid with each other. We're not going to act stupid back and forth with those Antifa people. Just yell, hey, you're stupid. The cops are like, I can't wait till this is over. Nobody else cares, right? Instead, they all manned up and they chatted with each other, and the girls all chilled out and became nice, friendly girls, right? So they weren't all like, yeah, we're all here. We'll take all these Antifa people. Yeah, they were girls like, oh, hey, and girl, I have this on video. Girl was like, I love your tie. And I was like, oh, thank you. I was hoping a cute girl like you would say that. It was an older lady, who was there at the Canadian nationalist, rally, not racist rally, but nationalist rally. And, when the guys all manned up, the women, no children there, but the women and children all chill out, right? That literally happened, there. It's like, watch, right? And the guys kind of gave me that Fight Club kind of look. They kind of look you in the eye. They kind of, the way Ed Norton in public, got that look. The guy at the photocopy machine, yeah, I know what you're saying, buddy. The waiter at the thing, yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. And then when they were together, privately, where they could respect each other more than normal, more than they have to be lying, bitchy, sketchy, crumpled pussy man in public, then they could, be cool with each other and talk to each other. So there's sort of a mini version of Fight Club created at that Canadian nationalist Pegida rally by these guys being embarrassed at being lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls and stopping and then looking at each other, realizing, wait, we don't have to do this? We're not doing this? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, I was just saying about this. Oh, I was just saying about that. Not bitchy, sketchy, ugly girls. He's guy acting like, man, put up with me. He'll force you to look at me. Oh, run quick. Force you to look at my ass. Oh, they just got away with that. They stopped for the most part. And so they were all cool with each other. And then the girls all there relaxed. And then the girls liked being girls more than they liked being tough like guy activists, right? So it's the exact same thing as part of the offline information war, right? And as I've noted, for a long time, right? And when it comes to girl world, right? The girls, they're supposed to act like that. They're supposed to basically make themselves, they're supposed to make you friendly and make them more shy and manageable, right? Girls like, hey, how's it going? I'm being cute. Can I have something, like you being nice or ask you a question or something, right? And you're like, oh, okay, I'll be nice to nice, cuter girl, putting me and her both in a good mood. Sure, I'll be nice to you. But barking growly guy. No, hello. Can I ask you a question? Oh, sure, barking growly guy takes a break. How's it going, nice girl, right? Women are supposed to make themselves more shy and manageable. Now, and as I've said for 8 years, it's been getting worse, and the guys started sexually harassing each other, and then when they wouldn't look at each other because they don't want to, they still don't want to. That's why they have to force each other to till they hate each other and can't do anything else, and like zombies go bother strangers. They were jealously harassing women. When, spazzing out near women, getting attention, or following women for blocks, trying to trick other idiot guys. Just as soon as that girl gets looked at by a guy, I'm gonna spaz out, trick her, force that idiot to look at me, act like a rude, ugly girl, right? But they weren't acting like men and women who were checking each other out and being masculine and feminine because they were making each other too uncomfortable. So it didn't work. They were just doing it for nothing. They just walked by each other. I'm following this girl to try and force people to look at me, play with my hair, or look at my ass like it's a real girl's hair or ass, right? And the other guys, well, I'm walking this way. And they won't look at each other, right? But anyway, so I just ignore guys being idiots. No big deal. It's nothing, right? But men, strange men, bothering women where you live is none of their business. Not with other men around, right? With other men around, it's none of their business. It's none of their damn business, right? If they're nice girls. If they're not nice, and they're not nice to you, they're not nice, then of course you got to keep your self-respect, not be a mess for the next one, right? But if they're nice, they're not bothering anybody, not bothering you, and they're just being bothered, then it's none of their business, right? So I made a big stink and, followed guys following girls, yelled at everybody else, got all the feedback I needed. People, when all the guys were messed up, it was just 5 to 10% in 2011, and then 20 to 30% in 2012 when I stopped it. And then ever since, it's been getting worse and worse and worse, and I've been doing stuff or just politely ignoring it. I could say, blah, blah, this sucks, blah, blah, men this, women that, right? And, the guy bothering the girl, whatever, and then everyone else would look at you like, hey, you're right. They could give you a look. Even if they couldn't talk, they still weren't worked up and bothering people, so they could look at you like you said something smart, and like they liked it, and you could look at them, and you didn't want to get in their face about anything they have trouble with, so, you just did that, right? And everybody was fine with it. Inside malls, outside malls, inside the Bay Street financial district like Wall Street, that type of area, outside, here, there, everywhere. People, they're fine. They're all fine with it. They're just fine. Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, we're fine with it. No problem. Right? So I got all this positive feedback from people on all these ideas. I just didn't get the financial or people support to back them up that I needed, on a consistent basis. People are cool with it, but otherwise, like, well, how it is, so it's the best brainwashing in history, 21st century, New World Order, best in class brainwashing. And so, people just, and I don't like bothering people. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I like to help people feel confident, right, and happy, unless they're messing with me, in which case I got to ignore them or crap on them. And they like being ignored or crapped on, right? But that's about it, right? So I got a lot of feedback. And as part of this feedback, I know that women like to do that so they can make themselves more shy and manageable. Now, you say to a woman, hey, she's manageable. She's like, I don't want to be manageable. But then you say, okay, you're unmanageable. I don't want to be unmanageable. Then, of course, you're like, okay, fine. So somewhere in between. So women don't want to be totally manageable, but they don't want to be totally unmanageable, right? But it's somewhere in that happy medium, right? And so as part of the guys being trapped in girl world, it's not possible because people can't act nice enough to know they're nice to each other and respect each other and communicate well, which is why they bother strangers, just like poor, crazy, homeless people who can't, right? And so they can't inspire each other. If they're not good at being men and women, they can't inspire each other. That's why, as this video says, Lauren Southern has retired. Will men worldwide man up and take her place? A big problem with that happening offline is people not acting nice and being inspirational. But when men act cool and make sure other men act cool and women and kids act cool, then you can inspire each other. Because this happened to me all the time and still does, right? Even at that Jurassic Park thing, as I mentioned in that video I played. As I was coming up here, there was a cute girl. She was like, woo, go Raptors. But she was looking at me. She made eye contact. She had a cute little smile. She stuck out her big boobs. And I was like, yeah, thanks, honey. And I just kind of smirked and went, thanks, honey. That's all. And some other guys were like, oh, yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. Straight up cool, right? But they can be inspiring unless you can't be. And that is a significant thing we've got to deal with. And this is part of men worldwide manning up and taking her place, right? Now, another thing, men can't do anything women can, right? Can't have babies and a bunch of other stuff. And women can't do anything men can, right? And namely, that's man up and yell at or chill out or help other men man up as a peer. They can't do that. Women can't do that. Women can be nice and attractive and inspire guys to do cool stuff, but they can't be like man up, right? They can inspire you to man up. Don't get me wrong. They can inspire you to man up and do all sorts of great stuff, but they can't, as a peer, say, man up. I'm a man. If you want to interact like a man with a man and feel like a man who's respected by a man who's worthy of respect, here's your shot, right? They can't do that. And as a song, I've been kicking around, working on. The resources do a lot of this stuff, but whatever, it's up to people. But a song that I got is, it's hard to be a man with no man around. Can't say calm down or stop being a clown. It's hard to be a man with no man around. Can't say calm down or stop being a clown. Right? So then nobody calm down. Everyone in clown world, people online make memes, internet people offline have to act like clowns with other clowns. Right? And so it's getting harder to do that. It's getting harder to man up like that. And that's something that we've got to work on when it comes to men manning up worldwide to replace people like Lauren Southern and others and help all men everywhere be cool and women be good at being women and kids be good at being kids, as opposed to this kind of globalist, everyone trapped in girl world. Everyone bother everyone. Oh, just force you to look at me. What? Don't say anything. I'll get embarrassed. I'll lie. I'll argue. This is so important to me. I'll fight to act like a rude, ugly girl bothering people more than I'll fight to be a man or anything else. And I'll fight to make sure I don't respect anyone and they don't respect me more than I'll fight for anything else. Yeah, that's brainwashing. That's bad brainwashing. But it is what's happening. It is what's happening. I've said, for eight years, on and off, even 8 years ago, said, buddy, if you want to kick my ass, because I won't look at your ass, let's just friggin' do this. Is that why you want to kill someone? Is that why you want to die? For that? And I'm yelling at this as some 6'5", 220-pound muscly guy. And what does he do? Lying bitch begging to be broken. He just gets off and gets out of there. Pretty manly. Hey, I'm a lying bitchy ugly girl. Yeah, I got off. Cool, I'm out. That's all that happens. That's all that's happened for 8 years. Right? Lying bitches begging to be broken. That's the brainwashing. That's why men got to man up, help other men man up, and women and children chill out. Otherwise, offline, where you live, this is what's happening. And online, more censored, or little digital ghettos, right? Hey, I'm on BitChute. I'm on BitTube. I'm on Minds.com. I'm on this. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Gab. I'm on whatever. I'm on whatever. I'm talking to a bunch of strangers who think the same as, I don't even know where the hell they are. We don't talk that much. What about people where you live? Not really. That's the issue. And if this is true in a diverse city like Toronto, it's probably true worldwide. Now, when it comes to this, I'm going to get into the nature of men and women for a little bit, right? In terms of what happens to us when we do this, right? I started off talking about Lauren Southern, and still am, and her retiring, and will men worldwide man up and take her place. She's made an amazing film, Borderless, probably been seen by millions of people so far, affects everybody in the world. If she can do that, and she's retiring, to live a more thoughtful, fulfilled life and deal with different issues. And she might want to settle down with a nice boy and get married and have nice kids and be a nice mom, maybe write a nice book, right? Then who the hell is going to protect the countries of the world from their borders being destroyed like Lauren Southern did with her movie Borderless? Men worldwide got to man up and pick up the slack, right? Wherever you live. Because ultimately, especially if you're on the radical left side, you want to destroy borders, destroy everything, make us all beige, make us all the same. No one will, do any think, talk, or act any different. Then no one will be jealous, no one will be upset. That's the commie zombification I've been speaking of, right? Radical left, not classical liberals, classical conservatives who like communicating. Just conservatives want to preserve what works to make us happy. Liberals want to make some changes, but we know how to respect each other. We can talk about, the best ideas and move forward and respect each other and evolve each other's opinions. Where if you're a conservative, classic conservative, well, I'm a bit more conservative. I don't think we should change anything. This is how we're happy. Well, I'm a classic liberal. Here's some of the changes I think we should make. Let's discuss. And then you can go, conservative, like, well, I don't agree with this, that, and the other, but that other one, I'm cool with. Liberals like, well, I understand why you don't want to touch this and that, but we could do something about that. And that push-pull moves cultures forward. The radical left, the globalist radical left that's corrupting modern liberals and making everybody go along with their agenda is to radically destroy and change everything and not let anybody talk about it. Don't talk about what worked. You're racist, sexist, phobic. History sucks. Everybody was a racist, sexist, phobic. Everything's this. Don't disagree with me or you're a Nazi. And we can't talk to people we disagree with, and then we can't talk to each other, and we make sure nobody can talk. That's the commie zombification going on right now, right? So, we're fighting against that. And yet, as part of this, historically, women who fight, right? Whether they're just bitches who fight a lot with other bitches or with guys, they just pick fights, or they even fight for a good cause to some degree, right? It can make them get hard and bitter and worse for other men and women and kids, right? You take a radical lefty activist, radical lefty bitchy activist, don't do this, don't do that, men suck, blah, 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 blah. Orange man bad. The most important freedom is killing our babies. Hey, lady, are you sure the most important freedom to fight for is to kill your babies? Yes, I am. The most important freedom in the world a woman should fight for is to be able to kill her baby. For thousands of years, the most important thing to women was saving their babies. Your kid gets 25. You might be like, you know what? He turned out to be a douchebag. Forget it. But when you're like, baby, infant, newborn, 2, 3, 4, 5, the most important thing to women in the world was to save their babies. No, most important thing is to kill your babies. Most important freedom in the world. Look, lady, look. If you're pro-choice, I get it. I think that you should be able to respect the pro-life side and have some discussions and maybe mitigate some of those pro-choice viewpoints, right? No, you should be able to kill babies. When? Kill them whenever you want. Until when? How many weeks? Like, at around 6 weeks, there's a heartbeat detected. No, kill them after that. Okay, at around 12 to 14 weeks, the fetus is forming. No. Around 18, 20, with the hands are there, the eyes. No, kill them. Till when? Till they're 3 years old. Most important freedom women have to fight for is to kill their babies until they're age 3. Up until the age of 3, you should decide. If at the age of 3, you're like, this isn't working for me, you should be able to kill the baby and then go out partying and drinking and dancing and finding strange men to have sex with. What? Don't you disagree with me? How dare you? That's the most important freedom women should fight for. Yes! What if I disagree? Just don't say anything, you man. Not allowed to say anything. Lady, I like women. I think this is a bit of a mistake. I think you've been brainwashed and confused, and I'm not saying which side of the pro-life or pro-choice thing you should fall on, but I definitely think there should be a healthy respect for both, and this is not just an easy decision. No, it's an easy decision. Anybody can make it. Have sex with a different man every week and have an abortion every week. It's the best thing to do. Lady, can we talk about... No, we cannot, right? So that's awful, right? And that extreme example aside, women who fight can get hard and bitter, and they're just unpleasant for men, women, and kids. Ugh. Ugh. You know, hey, what'd you think of that woman? She's hard as nails, tough as nails. That woman is tough as nails. Oh, yeah. Men are like, ugh. Women are like, eh. Kids are like, ew. Right? Men who fight get hard and better and badass. Right? Men like it. Women like it. Kids like it. For men who fight, it's a very, very different situation. Men who fight. I'm a soldier. Tough as nails. All right, bro, can we be cool? Damn right we can. All right, cool. I feel cooler already. Thanks, bro. Right? So they're men like it. Women like it. Ooh, I bet I can be really good at being a woman with this man who's really good at being a man. You know? Excuse me. You know? Yes. Yeah, what is it, young lady? Ooh, this guy kills people and he just called me young lady. He's being so nice to me. Right? Ooh, right? Women love it. And kids like it. Boys like it like, wow, I want to be that guy. Girls like it like, wow, I'm so happy that guy's here. Nothing bad's ever going to happen to me, right? I know this with, family, friends, kids, or whatever, hanging out, playing with them sometimes. And the boy, I'll be like, hey, boy, make sure your sister's having a good time. Don't play too rough. You use your masculine strength and power to make sure she's having fun. Everyone's having fun. You got that? And he's just like, yeah, that was badass, dude. Yeah, dude, I'm just vibing. Mom's looking at me like, did that work? Dad's looking at me like, can I do that? And look at him. The boy's like, yes, love that yelling, dude. You're damn right. It's what I should be up to. And little girl's like, wee, yelling for me, yelling for me, right? So they all love it. Men love it, women love it, kids love it, if you can fight. And like I showed you in that video, it's been going on and off for 8 years. You know, I do it anywhere. Go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. This is what happens. They should be polite Canadians, teaching kids. This is what we need to do. And yeah, lying bitch, bothering you. Yeah, put up with me. Oh, you're not paying attention? Oh, even better. Fantastic. Running away. I'm not in trouble. You're not a mess. Oh, that's awesome. I like that doing that with a man. Yeah, it's a real man. Yeah, that's what they do. Right? They act stupid and run away. You know, hey, fuck you, loser, put up with me. Thank you, soldier. Lying bitch, Pegida broken. I needed that. Guys will do it. I'll sit there with my laptop and film it. Right? Like, watch. This is what they're doing. Right? They come up and, yeah, put up with me. Yeah. I forced you to look at me. Put up with me. Oh, thank you, soldier. They run away. You know, or they'll be like, hey, run like crazy. Run. Forced you to look at me. Stupid look at my face. Sorry about that. Oh, here's my ass. Turn around. Here's my ass. Sorry about that. Oh, such a bitch. Here's my ass. Do whatever you want with my ass. Sorry about that. Here's my ass. They ignore the whole thing and they just run away. Right? So there's a difference between men and women fighting, right? And how it's appreciated. Even to this day, how it's appreciated. Now, again, it's an option for women, and I certainly don't want women to be stupid. I mean, they should be informed and empowered and so on. But ultimately, it's an option for them to sort of get more and more like that, whereas it's a priority for men to do that. So they're better men for themselves, other men and women and kids. And this is all documented and certified in diverse Toronto, so it's probably true around the world. So men worldwide can use some of these ideas to man up, on behalf of, where they live and who they are, ultimately, if you want to be cool and who you are, right? A couple of examples include, say, Alex Jones from the Infowars.com and Infowars family of broadcasts, radio and internet TV broadcasts. Now, not saying he's perfect, agree, disagree with this, that, and the other. Here's the point. He's been yelling at and about the man for 20, 25 years, right? He's been yelling at and about the man. Blah, 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 the goddamn globalists trying to kill us all, poison us, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Right? It's pretty badass. He's like your big brother versus big brother. Right, a lot of guys, women, kids like him too, or young people. But a lot of guys look at him. He's like your big brother versus big brother. He's been yelling at the man for 20 years, so he can help you man up and feel better. Globalists want to do this. If they want to kill me, they can kill me. They can torture me. But I know they'll never take the spirit of humanity, and my kids will live in a better world. So you want to do this? Let's do this, right? And guys are like, all right, well, look, if I can at least hear him say that, I can be more of a man myself, right? And so, that's cool. And yet, when Jones has women on the show, whether it's his colleague Leanne McAdoo or Canadian journalist and activist Faith Goldy, he is more of a gentleman with them. It's a bit tough because you got to balance. The globalists are trying to do this and that. They're censoring us and they're killing us and they want whatever. They're communists and they want whatever. But wow, Faith, you're a lovely lady. It's so happy to have you here. The globalists hate that. A strong, beautiful, lovely woman, right? And Faith is like, oh, thank you, Alex. You're so sweet. So, and we're talking about this and that, right? And so, that's what he's doing, right? He can be more of a gentleman with other guys and with ladies than your typical guy who's sort of a wet noodle, guy. Hey, how's it going? Or a guy who gets worked up like a rude, ugly girl, right? And makes girls kind of shrink and get nervous and insecure, right? We're like, oh, hi. Yeah, no, totally, girlfriend. Yeah, I'm a big guy, but I'm waving my hands like an exaggerated, big, ugly girl guy. And then I just play with my hair. Yeah, no, totally. I get what you're saying. Touch my face. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. And girls like, oh, sure. Me too. Ideally, man, cool. Women, less of that, or just a bit of that in a graceful, attractive, sharing way, and you're good to go, right? So you'd be like, God damn it, it's so lovely to have you here, Faith. Oh, thanks, Alex. You might have a little flip of the hair. Not put up with me. Oh, put up with me. Oh, I know how it is. Yeah, put up with me. Not that crap, right? And so Alex Jones is a good example of a guy who's been fighting, yelling at the man and about the man for 20 years. And it's made him better at being a man for other men, for his family, his own wife, his own 3 or 4 beautiful children, and for just other girls who appear on the show, whether it's Faith Goldy, whether it's his colleague Leanne McAdoo, a beautiful, lovely, sweet girl, kind of a dream girl, one of my dream girls, where I'm like, she's so sweet. She's just so sweet. She's too sweet to be doing this shit. And she does some of this shit well, but she also gets a little bit whatever. And you just get the sense that she'd like to be a fun girl with a badass dude more than getting into badass shit too much. Because it takes away from her being a fun girl, right? But again, Alex with her, gentleman with a lady. Ah, Leanne, so lovely to have you here. With other guys, it's a bit of a different dynamic. Or guys, blah, blah, this. But it's not that lovely, this, so and so that. Those accents on your conversation. And a lot of that is being destroyed. Not supposed to say sir, ma'am, supposed to call everybody, hey guys, or yeah man, that was crazy man, or whatever, right? So all these little ways of being nice to each other and knowing you're being nice to each other and getting people to be nice to each other are being destroyed as part of the commie zombie takeover. All supposed to be comrade, or you're supposed to be Z or Zer, or you're supposed to be 74 or 174 different genders, except for the 2 that matter. Because if most people straight are great at it, LGBTQ people can be too. I know, I've been to Toronto Pride parades where it's been gay pride, trans pride, it was all pride. It was confident or pretty pride, not rude, ugly attitude, right? But that's the most important thing. You can't be that, right? And even with kids, if your boy wants to be a boy, oh, raise him gender neutral, see what he decides, right? But if he wants to be a girl, oh, your boy wants to be a girl. Oh, get him Barbies, get him makeup, get him this, get him a pretty dress. Oh, if your boy wants to be a girl, you got to take being female seriously, right? But if your boy wants to be a boy, you don't take being a boy seriously. If your girl wants to be a girl, no, forget it. Just gender neutral, gender whatever. Let her decide. Don't let all the culture influence her. Just let her decide. But if your girl wants to turn into a boy, oh my goodness, get your little girl Tonka trucks and construction boots and rub dirt on his face and let your little girl boy climb a tree, scrape a knee. You have to encourage that. You're only supposed to encourage your kids to be good at being boys and girls if they're going to switch genders culturally. But if you want to raise your little boy to be good at being a little boy, you're not supposed to. If you want to raise your little girl to be good at being a little girl, you're not supposed to. That is the communist attack on us, the globalist communist attack on us that men worldwide have to fight against and beat, because that is the most important thing. Making sure people can act nice enough to talk, otherwise they can't. So then people can be really smart on the internet and just act like complete idiots offline. With other people, they can't stop from acting like complete idiots because they have to go along with it, because everyone's trapped in girl world, and you're not supposed to talk about how people are trying to force people to look at them, instead of not supposed to talk about how people are cool and people are nice and sharing something. And even if a girl's being a bitch and she tries to force you to look at her, when guys are cool and straight and normal and girls are nice and they're trying to get attention, you don't look at her. You ignore it. If you're like, hey, we're 5 guys, we're chilling out in Miami, we're all hanging out, we're having a couple of drinks, we're hanging out by we've got some nice clothes on and we're by an expensive car, right? They're 5 guys. They're cool. Not rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly girl guys, zombies, right? But just 5 cool guys. And 5 girls walk by, right? And if the girl's like, blah, 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 obnoxious, blah, 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 obnoxious, and there are 5 hot girls, blah, 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 obnoxious, then you don't don't want to look at that, right? You just don't look. And the girls get embarrassed and they go away. They realize you're men. You're not going to look at that garbage. And you don't care. You're not all messed up. The girls are happy. They're not with someone they don't respect who doesn't respect them. And so they walk that way, past the guys. And then guys are like, whatever. It's nothing. Who cares? The girls will walk that way, realize that those are men, and then they'll walk back, and this time they'll walk slow, they'll look cool, they'll try and feel hot. They're like, okay, guys, we'll take another pass at this. Okay, now we're walking slow, looking cool, trying to feel hot, now we'll be cute. And the guys are like, oh, now they're being cute. All right, let's check out these girls. And the guys would chill out, and the girls will be checked out, right? So if in the real world, where we're not all trapped in girl world and all supposed to be rude, ugly girl guy commie zombies, that's how it would work. Where girls acting stupid, or bitchy ugly old lady, I'm buying subway tokens, I'm taking 45 minutes. Lady, it takes 2 minutes, 5 minutes to buy subway tokens. I'm bitchy ugly old lady. Can't make anyone pay attention to me anymore. Make everyone put up with me. If you say anything, I'll get embarrassed and lie and argue and call the cops and hit you with my purse and say you did something awful, It's like, oh, for goodness sakes, forget it. It's beneath me to get involved. Right? Forget it. Who cares? It's nothing. Right? And if you just do that, and like I've done this, where dealing with an ugly old lady working at a construction site, old European lady, she was all flustered. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Oh my goodness. She was all, I smiled. I was like, pfft. You are messed up by this? You must be a mess all the time. What a joke. What a goddamn joke you are, old European lady. I didn't say that, but I smiled like I was like, pfft, this is ridiculous, right? And I was in a position of authority over her. She was sort of a customer of sort of our crew for whatever I was part of, right? And I was just laughing. I was like, pfft, this is ridiculous. And she got flustered. Stop. I can't believe. She calmed down. She was like, I can't believe I'm supposed to be embarrassed by that. And you called me out. And that's it. I'm just calming right down right now. I'm not a total mess, making a big mess and a big fuss. No, I'm not. She just stopped. She stopped. She was just a relatively nice old European lady after that. Right? So that is the ideal. And that is what you got to transcend out there. Another man out there to look at is comedian Owen Benjamin. Comedian Owen Big Bear, with his group of bears. His fans call him bears. Owen Benjamin. He was formerly a Hollywood comedian, Hollywood actor. Pretty into that scene and successful. But then he called out the trans kids issue, said, no, trans kids, no way. And Hollywood was like, no, you got to go along with this or we'll kick you out. He goes, fuck you, I'm out, right? And he left and, went through some hard times, but now has come out on top with a ton of fans, making some money, a wife and 2, 3 beautiful kids, and his own plot of land, and a whole bunch of fans he informs and empowers with a bunch of streams. Plus, he travels to do comedy in front of his fans at different places around the U.S., right? So Owen Benjamin is a guy who, with his live streams, like this or whatever, he is a super hardcore pro-free speech advocate. He says the N word, the J word, and all the other alphabet words. He questions a lot of Orthodox history, and he just goes berserk. He gets worked up sometimes. He goes at, some liars out there, or people he thinks, and he says, I might not be right, but I'm not lying. He's trying not to lie in his efforts to get to the truth. So he's not a guy that's like, I am God, I have all the answers. Nobody does. But in his efforts, his main focus is trying to tell the truth and trying to make sure he can help people talk and communicate well. And as a result, he goes pretty far and says some pretty crazy stuff, which I really appreciate as a man's man, as a badass dude, where I'm just like, this is hilarious, right? But at the same time, Owen Benjamin has his streams outside of his house, where his beautiful wife, Amy, and his beautiful children are. He's like, no, I am manning up out here saying this is crazy, that's crazy, and you can't believe this, and this is so stupid, and this is this, and that is that, and blah, blah, blah. And then with his wife and with his kids, he's just a responsible, badass, happy father who's lovely with his lovely wife who looks up to him and loves him and is so happy and secure with a badass dude and his cute little kids or whatever. He's a good father. He's not, well, I say all this crazy stuff and then I go and beat my wife and beat my kids and I'm all crazy. No, it's the opposite. It's the exact opposite. They say you better stand for something or you're bound to fall for anything. It includes being turned into a rude, lying, bitchy, sketchy, ugly guy, girl, commie zombie who just is obsessed with forcing people to look at you or look at you act like an ugly girl or look at your ass, and then you can't show and get respect and do anything else or much, right? So with Owen Benjamin taking a stand on a lot of these issues and on the truth and acting like a man who other men appreciate, and even women and kids like it. Like they like it when you talk loud near them, not necessarily to them, but near them, they like. Just like they like guys hammering this, blah, 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 guys do this, blah, blah, guys tough, blah, blah, guys in the backyard, at a party, a little party of, 3, 4 couples, guys in the backyard smoking cigars, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, blah, blah, make money, blah, blah, bad, blah, this sucks, oil price is too high, blah, blah, this sucks, that sucks, The girls be like, oh, well, it's nice the boys are all worked up and stuff. Let me go see if they want any coffee, And the girl comes out there. Hey, boys, how you doing? Oh, good, honey. We're just getting along. You say, oh, I can tell, you guys want some coffee? Oh, yeah, honey, we'll take some coffee. Just had a couple of drinks. We'll have some coffees, and then we'll leave in, say, half an hour. An hour. She goes, oh, that'll be great. And goes back in. Blah. They like it when guys can talk. They don't necessarily want guys, blah, blah, girl, this is blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, but not typically. But the fact that they can do that, that's appreciable. It's like the guys who can fight. They just don't want them to beat them up. But they like when a guy can fight, but they don't want to be beat up by one, right? So when it comes to Owen Benjamin, his wife knows exactly what he does. He doesn't keep any secrets from her. Just like with my girlfriends. They know not all the details. Just like his wife doesn't know all the details. But they know exactly, what I'm doing, but not all the details. And just like the mafia guy, his wife knows exactly what he's doing, just not all the details, right? Just like the soldier. His wife knows exactly what he's doing, just not all the details. Just like anything like that, right? But my point is that doesn't make him a worse man for his himself or his wife and kids and family and friends outside of that. It makes him a better one. And that is the point to take from these examples. So the final point I have to make on this is men need to fight to be good at being men. For them, women, and kids, that's how everyone feels happy. That's how men feel happy. The movie Fight Club was in part about guys looking for a purpose, and that still resonates. It was 1999. 20 years later, it still rings true because we're still in the same generation. The other movie in 1999 is The Matrix. We're all trapped in retro culture, living online, looking at pods, the late 20th century. Don't think about the future. Just think about the 20th century, and just live on the internet like we're doing now, right? Is, oh, 80s fun. Oh, 90s fun. Oh, old comic books fun. I'm an adult thinking like I'm an 8-year-old. You know, old TV shows fun. It was so much better. Hey, what about the future? What's the future going to be look like? Nope, don't think about it. Right? So Fight Club versus The Matrix, for example. But men need to fight to feel good about themselves. That includes with, videos like this. Look, all the people that people admire on YouTube. Same thing. Captain Sinbad, good-looking brown man, obsessed with Fight Club, who's out there, a guy. He is an actor, and he's very well-spoken. He makes very well-cut videos and so on. And he's thoughtful. That's why they do it. They do it because it makes them feel better, and they do it because they hope it helps other people be cool, and where they live be cool, whether it's generally on the internet and planet Earth, or whether it's locally where they live. That's how they feel good, and that's how other men respect them, and women and kids respect them, and how everyone feels good. So it's important for men to fight as part of that. And there you have it. So anyway, this video was called Lauren Southern Has Retired. Will men worldwide man up and take her place? And I do hope this was a comprehensive explanation of why, even if it's not fashionable, it's always cool. And I've proven that multiple times. And you can check my YouTube YouTube deletes my channels, and Facebook and Twitter censor me and kick me off or suspend me or whatever, or delete my whatever. But there's still some stuff up there. And BitChute, not sure, but BitChute's so far been better. And so you can check that out. But the point is that I hope this sort of helps sort of explain that. And check out manforwars.com as well. Feel free to comment or subscribe or get in touch to work together, or with any ideas or questions or answers or feedback. And feel free to financially support the manforwars.com efforts. If there's more success on this end, that'll lead to more success everywhere, because more success breeds more success. It shows more interest. I've gotten interest of a tangential nature. And based on having self-respect, which includes not bothering people, there's only so far I can go with my efforts, right? I can't get in someone's face about something that makes them uncomfortable. That's rude, right? I can't go to a restaurant and see somebody eating a steak and say, hey, buddy, you ever thought about being vegan? Guy's looking down at his 12-ounce steak. You're a real dick, right? And just like with, people, if they're nice to me, I'm nice to them. That's it. They're just nice to each other. If they're jerks, I ignore them or I crap on them, and I hope other people get the idea. But otherwise, I don't. Even with those cops yesterday, when I was leaving Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park before Game 2 of the NBA Finals in Toronto, the Toronto Raptors fan watch on a big screen section. Bunch of cops there. The cops are typically just cool with me. They're just like, yeah, what's up, buddy? Whatever. Sometimes they're acting stupid as people beat each other up and make each other act stupid more and more. But otherwise, they're just like, and so they just like, all right, man, you're a badass dude. I'm a big badass cop, And so I just look at them. I say, smile. As long as they're not worked up and force me to put up with them, and I don't do that or pay attention to that crap, then I just look at them and say, evening. They kind of nod to me, whatever. Or I might, say a casual thing. But I can't get in their face and try and, bust their balls with stuff they have trouble talking about either. I can just make the point that, for like I've done for 8 years, not all about me, that civilians, publicly, inside, outside, everywhere, right? Publicly make this point, not because it's not all on me, but I can publicly make the point that even if you're going along with sheepish, sideways shit where you live, everyone quiet, cucked up, everyone silly, fakes, rude, sketchy, get away, make each other uncomfortable with family and friends, now we can't communicate well, what do you want to do? Let's just wander around, bother people like zombies, looking for people that are nice and happy and good looking and minding their business, and let's try and turn them into zombies. Instead of getting along with and talking to each other, let's go bother other people and get away with it. Yeah, get away, run away, and be embarrassed and lie and argue. Rude, ugly girl guy, run, put up with me, run, get away with this, get away with that. What are you saying? What do you say? Don't say anything, right? Instead of doing that, I've tried to publicly prove that civilians and security guards and police and military and intelligence agencies and media and politicians and others should all know that even if people go along with this shit, nobody likes it, nobody's cool with it, nobody wants to talk about how great it is and how adults should do it and teach kids to, and everybody likes being ignored, acting stupid, wants to stop, right? I've tried to make that point clear publicly. So it's not all on me. That's also why I'm not just videos like this at home. I'm out there mixing it up with my laptop webcam or other camera or whatever. See? It's not me, right? This is what's happening. So if you're civilians out there, just the average Joe and Jane Canadian or wherever you are in the world, right? Joe and Jane Torontonian or wherever you are in the world, right? Or your security guards, mall here, so-and-so there, wherever, right? Or your police or military or intelligence agencies or your media or politicians or anybody else, you can see that even if you just kind of go along, hey, how's it going? Sketchy. Oh, no, me sketchy too. Yeah, sketchy. Just kind of look away from each other. That's sketchy. Yeah, no, how it is sketchy. Yeah, no, sketchy. Yeah. Fine. You think you just have to go along and just keep doing that, right? Until that's all you can do. Then you just bother people. And you can't ever show and get respect. You always feel like crap, make people put up with you. Instead of that, I've tried to prove out there that, look, you may just go along. Well, what are you going to do? A lot of people don't have the option, to kind of ignore it, avoid it. A lot of people don't have the balls, don't have the eggs. I get it, right? No problem, right? It's not the easiest thing to do, but you see what happens if you don't, right? It's a zombie apocalypse, right? So I tried to make it easy for people out there to understand that even if you're like, even with my videos, even my channel, people are just like, watch it, like, yep, don't say anything, yep, don't say, not even negatives, not even positives, just like, oh, that stuff, yep. There's some subscribers, there's some this, there's some that, but a lot of times it's just, yeah, that stuff, don't talk about it, yeah, that stuff, yeah, I don't want to talk about it, yeah, that stuff, oh, don't talk about it, yeah, that stuff, yeah, everyone has to do it, act like and put up with that. No. There's virtually nobody that likes it. Maybe a tiny fraction of messed up guys who were abused or molested or brainwashed or perverts. Just a tiny fraction of guys that might like this. Tiny fraction. Most guys don't. Most girls don't. Most kids don't. They don't. Now everyone can just go along with it till we all fall apart, or we can stop it. It's that simple. So, BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com. Feel free to comment, subscribe, get in touch with questions or answers or to work together or whatever, or financially support or in other ways support the manforwars.com efforts. Otherwise, I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.